then just go. You signed your franchise tag. Get the hell in here. That's the way I see it, man. Get in here. I know we're talking about a contract. You can be on the field earning your $10.346 million while we're working on the contract. And that's what you should be doing. Right now, you're the leader in the locker room. And there's a bunch of newbies running around this place. They don't even know where the bathroom is. Who's going to show them where the bathroom is? You gotta have Marcus May in there. You signed it. And here's the real interesting nugget. And this is where it can get wacky. You ready for this one? Greg Knapp was the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos when Adam Gase was the offensive coordinator. And afterward. Isn't that something? Another little tidbit was Greg Knapp was also the offensive coordinator when Michael Vick became the first quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards. So Greg Knapp's been around, man. Greg Knapp knows his stuff. Well, hello, everybody. It's good to see you all. It is good to see you all. I have such a funny story to tell you guys today, but I'm going to do something first. I figured out that if I share the screen, watch this. If I share the screen, oops, and if I do something like this, see that? And I make myself little and I can keep stuff up there, it doesn't lag as much. Isn't that interesting? What do you guys think of that? Hopefully I'm not too laggy. It says I have about 15 megabytes a second of upload speed. I only need a requisite 5. So I have 10 extra megabytes per second buffer to make sure that I'm good for you guys. But let's do our check. How am I doing? Am I all right? Am I all right? Please, can I please be okay this week? I've been checking everything. I'm using my ace in the hole, my Verizon, my very specific purchased for you guys, Verizon MiFi hotspot. Looking good. It's all right. My voice is sketchy now. That's crazy. Usually my voice is good. So it's choppy, Frank Markopoulos. All right, hold on. Let me see here. Now, does the video get worse when it's like this? B+. B+ is not so bad, man. I made it through school with less than that. You know the old saying, Jeremy, what do they call a guy who was last in his class in medical school? Anybody know? Anybody know what they call a guy who was last in his class in medical school? All right, I'm going to put the thing back. That should be better. What do you call him? What do you call a guy who's last in his class in medical school? Who knows? Doctor, there he is, Harry. See, I subscribed to that. Thank you, James. Right. I subscribe better than me. That's funny, James. Yeah, I subscribed to that mindset my whole life. And then as I got older, I realized I wasn't happy with that. So I started trying to do better. But my whole life, all through school, everything, I'm like, man, there's one thing I can't do and get out of here, and that's fail. You know? So it looks like a D- to you. That's unfortunate. Yep, I got 14.96 megabytes a second here. Let me shut this off and see. Specialist, yeah, doctor. My dad, Stuart, is a huge fan of yours, GreenBean. Thanks for bringing him happiness. Yeah, dude, right on. Hopefully he likes choppy, pixelated robot, man, because seemingly I felt so good about tonight. I was so excited. Let's see how it evolves. A lot of times it needs to warm up. If you guys saw last week, the first 45 minutes of last week was terrible. And then right before I brought Jeremy on, and then when we were on, it's clear, crystal clear. It's unbelievable. So it's like the more I add, the better it is. So I don't know. So how's everybody doing? I see Jets Mess. Big Green was here first tonight. I'll give you that. Whoop, whoop. Big Green, the vacation man. He's going on vacation soon. We got Rockaway Archie. It's good to see you, Rockaway Archie. I feel like you haven't been here in a minute. Jake G's here. Jack Oliveri's here. Tom Bon Jovi's here. AC. Right on, man. James Saberka, Harry's here, Jeremy, Scott Wilson, Frank Markopoulos is here. Yeah, man, you guys are the shit. You guys are the best. John Holton, what's up? Byron Atkinson. Yeah, man. Look at all you guys. This is great. This is great. See, it's tough in the off season, man. I'm just keeping this going for anybody who's like me. Remember, you guys were here. We discussed this. It was like, should I keep doing it? I mean, a lot of people, I got some messages from some of our regulars. They said, hey, man, just so you know, I'm just taking a break for the off season. I got a couple of those. People said, hey, man, what's up, Tom Coleman? I see you, buddy. John Heibendahl. Hey, buddy. Jack Oliveri. Yeah, man. So, but remember, we discussed this. It was like, hey, we got to keep something going. We can make videos and all that. We got to have a place where we could just come and vent and chat and do whatever. You know what I mean? So that's what we're doing. And we'll keep this thing going. I want to tell you guys a funny story. I'm going to wait like another minute or two. But this just happened. I just finished it a half hour ago. And it's a crazy thing. As you guys know where I am, what's up, David? It's good to see you too, buddy. Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. And and we'll get into it at some point too, but Flight 2021 was fantastic. If you guys didn't see it, I mean, it's funny too, because as great as it was, I wanted more. I wanted to see some more. I wanted to see some more specifics. They didn't give me what I wanted, but let me tell you something. They gave me a lot more than I'm used to getting. So especially around here. Now, we have had one Jets drive for a long time. Excuse me. So at least they do that for us. And I got to say, man, even for some of the worst regimes that we've had, one Jets drive has been stellar. I mean, the quality of that, cinematography, if you want to call it that, is really top notch. I think they do a really good job telling the story. Everything's very well done. So the least they've given us that. But this is the first time it's anything like substantial about the people that are actually changing our organization. So, usually it's, Jamal Adams, Sam Darnold, a couple of the guys that we drafted or undrafted free agents. We get a little Greg Dortch, we get a little Jordan Jenkins. Who was it? The guy fishing, Jordan Jenkins, right? He was fishing. And we get all those stories, and those are nice and they're interesting. But as many of us know in here, especially you guys know it's not those players that are changing this organization. We've had really good players in here. It's the system, and it's the guys building the team. And so finally being able to take a look at those guys, Joe Douglas, John Carr, Chad Alexander, Phil Savage hit it out of the park. Did you guys like Phil Savage? Just listening to him, I feel like, okay, man, we have people in here who know what they're doing. It's been pretty cool, man. It's been pretty great. Thanks, Frank. It's good. It's good. I love having you here, man. So, yeah, so I'm up here. So, look, we'll get into Flight 2021 in a few minutes, okay? Because I want to have a nice chunk of time, and we'll talk about that. If anybody hasn't seen it, you really got to get on it, man. It's the best thing that we've received in a long time, and it's reminiscent of the Colts. Did you guys see that? I think it was a 3 or 4 part series from the Colts with Chris Ballard. It was fantastic. I was obsessed watching that. And it wasn't even the Jets. And I just loved seeing how they operated. We didn't get a lot of that, but we did get a lot of the buildup and all that sort of stuff and how they think when going into the situation room and all that. So here's my story. I'll tell you a little story. So this just happened to me. As you guys may or may not know, actually, I drive around all around the country, right? So I'm always somewhere different. Right now I'm in Maine. I've been in the New England area for the past let's say month and change, right? About a month. I've been in New England, and I'll be here another month. Be bopping around New Hampshire and all that sort of stuff. So I drive around in this big black truck with a big banner on the back of my truck that says "On the Road with GreenBean." It has my little, you see my little head right there, my little logo, my face logo, and it says "On the Road with GreenBean," YouTube and Instagram or whatever. So every now and then I get somebody that notices it, and they say, "Hey, man, I saw you driving down the road," or I'm a Jets fan or something. It's nice to see you driving around Connecticut. I get some of that stuff, and then I get people that just, they write to me and say, hey, Jet sucked or something. I'm like, cool, cool, man. But today the guy took an interesting route to poke at me. So I get this message on Instagram and he says, hey, slow down, take it easy or something like that. So I just sent him some question marks. I don't know who it is. He's got a Paisan name, so I'm figured he's from New Jersey or something. And he says, weren't you driving on Bar Harbor? I said, yeah, I was driving in Bar Harbor. And he said, well, you should slow down. You were doing 85 miles an hour. Now, let me just tell you this. Number one, there's no possible way I was doing 85 miles an hour. I just don't, that's not me. That's not how I drive. Maybe if I'm on the interstate, that's a different story. Maybe I'll get into 80 or whatever. But generally speaking, I'm 5 miles an hour over the speed limit at all times. I even use cruise control and all that sort of stuff. So he says he was following me the whole way back on Route 3 in Maine. So I said, okay, well, if you're following me and I'm doing 85 miles an hour, how fast were you doing? So I'm already getting the sense, okay, this guy's I guarantee he's a Pats fan, and the Jets thing is going to come out any second. So what happens? Jets suck, by the way. And your banner is ridiculous and all that sort of stuff. So we start going into it. And the guy, he's here right now. He won't say he's here. I invited him tonight. He won't say he's here. Chris, if you're here, say hello. I told him to come hang out with us tonight. And he's like, yeah, I got a bet or something. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, this went on for about a half an hour of this guy trying to get under my skin, saying things like butt fumble, saying things like the Jets suck. Like, let me ask you guys, and this is us, right? Does that bother you anymore? Do those types of comments even affect you anymore? Jets suck. Like, if anyone knows that that's the truth, it's us, right? We're the ones living this, right? We know what the deal is. So the funny thing is about this is, and this is what I have great delight since I've been in New England talking to a lot of people, it's that, oh yeah, the Jets have sucked for the past 10 years. Our last playoff game that our last time in the playoffs, we knocked you out of the playoffs. So that's that. And then you guys have went on a tear and we've done nothing. That's great. But here's the good news, is that we're used to sucking. The Patriots just did you see what the Patriots just did? The Patriots went full on Jets, and Bill Belichick tried to buy his team because why? Because Tom Brady left, went down to Tampa Bay, won a Super Bowl the first year, and the Pats didn't make the playoffs. Now, there's lots of reasons why the Pats didn't make the playoffs. They had the highest amount of COVID opt-outs, lots of things like that. But the truth is that they don't have the guy who's won them all the games that they've managed to win over the years. And it turns out that the Buffalo Bills are on the way back, and the Dolphins are on the way back. And even though we weren't, we are now. And it's like, so the Patriots have had a division filled with 3 teams that couldn't beat them. They couldn't even get out of their own way for the past decade. Couldn't do it. So they've gotten 5 or 6 wins every single year from that division. Secondly, they had Tom Brady, who we just saw how important he was to a team, because the Bucks the year before couldn't even get in the playoffs. So he goes down there and they go right to the Super Bowl and win it. So the funny thing is that the Patriots just went out and spent like $200 million trying to do it the exact way that the Jets have done it for the past 20 years, which is to buy their team. And guess what ain't going to happen? It ain't going to work. It's not going to work. I'm telling you right now. First of all, the Cam Newton is toast. That's why he was let go in Carolina, and that's why he didn't do anything last year. He's toast. He's still a quality, I guess, like kind of a backup guy, but he's not the guy winning MVP anymore. It's not him. And then they got Mac Jones, who's the rawest of raw rookies. So the Pats are going to literally have a hard time. So, we're weathered. We have leather skin. But you're saying butt fumble to me? I know, right, AC? That sucks. Yeah. Water's wet. What are you talking about? And this is the funny thing. It's like you can tell right away, like, where anybody's going. Like I said, I get this stuff all the time, guys. I get it all the time. I'm out here. I'm like, I got flags waving all over the place. And it's all in good nature. I'm not looking to get into a fist fight or anything like that. I'm just ribbing. Just, fans being fans. But some people get so offended by it. They get so hurt that they got to come in and accuse me of speeding to talk to me. I said, dude, you could have just said hello. I said, hey, man, I hate your banner because of Jets. I hate the Jets. Okay. We could have did it that way. Instead, we wasted 15 minutes trying to tell me I'm doing something. I'm like, dude, I'm just telling you right now. It's not who I am. It's not me. I don't drive 85 miles an hour in a 55 zone. It's just not who you're talking to. I have children in the car. It's not who I am. So anyway, I thought that was funny. We ended it pretty nice. Turns out he's a gambler and he's got a lot of money riding on the Blackhawks or something tonight. I don't know. But isn't that an interesting thing? The Jets, the people still think it hurts our feelings. No one can hurt my feelings more than Michael McCagnon and Adam Gase. There's nobody on the planet that can do that in this sphere anyway. There's nobody that can hurt me like they hurt me. You know what I mean? What's up, Big Block Joe? I see ya. So anyway, and they still have no receivers. That's the truth, dude. They're trying to buy their team. They went and bought a bunch of tight ends. They got a bunch of big names. I've never seen it work. I've never seen it work, and it's not going to work there because they don't have a quarterback. And the whole Cam Newton thing, there's going to be a quarterback controversy by week 4. And the problem with that is that Mac Jones isn't going to be ready, most likely. I mean, hey, it's not like I haven't been wrong before. But we've also been watching this stuff a long time, have we not? We've been seeing these things. We see it. So what's oh yeah, that's right, Frank. Gary V was the single and lone Jets fan that was outwardly saying Adam Gase was a great coach and we were going to be happy that we signed him. Not for 1 second did I think that. It wasn't for 1 second. Not for 1 second. Now, let me be fair. I tried to like him. I supported him because what else are we going to do? But it's funny. The last 2 years, especially last year, I got accused of being a doom and gloomer. I'm borderline homer. You know what I mean? Like, I am borderline homer. I think I'm slightly more objective than a lot of my homer friends that I have, that the Jets can do nothing wrong. I'm not that, but I'm always looking for the bright side. You know what I mean? And the last 2 years were so bad that I was accused of being a doom and gloomer. Like, dude, you gotta try to lighten up. Like, I can't. There's nothing to lighten up about. There's nothing. And we're running Frank Gore into the A gap. Like, what is this? Sam Darnold looks like he's never played football before. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. So, Stephen Engel, what's up, buddy? It's good to see you, man. So, let's see. Gary V told me at McDonald's that Le'Veon would light it up with the Jets. Yeah, I think a lot of people thought that, didn't they? And look, the thing we have to remember with Gary V, like, Gary V's a good dude, right? Like, no, just everything aside, Gary V's out there trying to help people, and he's a good guy, at least from what we know about him. Seems genuine. He's a good dude, and he definitely cares about the Jets. But he's just another fan. You know what I mean? He's just another fan as far as whether or not we're going to be good or not. And who didn't think Le'Veon Bell was going to be good? Tell you what, I had my concern. I didn't want to sign him. I didn't. Now, I wasn't unhappy when they did. I said, okay, if that's what they're going to do, that's fine. But that was not a guy I wanted to go after. My whole thing was offensive line. That was my whole thing. Offensive line and get me some edge rushers. That's what I want. We never do it. Except for this year. So let's do this. So anyway, I wanted to share that story with you. I think it was pretty funny. The guy at the very end, just to cap that, the guy Chris who busted my balls today, he did say at the end, I wish you well in whatever you do. And I wished him well and told him this is all fine. It's just, whatever ribbing. But I did tell him, next time you want to talk to me, you just can talk to me. You don't have to start with some bullshit about speeding. So that was, but I thought that was a funny story because I get it up here. I'm in New England driving around with a Jets truck. You know what I mean? With an old man's face on the back called a GreenBean. Like, if you remove this from our little circle, it's pretty ridiculous. You know what I mean? This is a ridiculous thing I'm doing. GreenBean. What is this? So, Tom Coleman, real quick. What do you think? Who do you think will have the better first year? Mac or Fields? I think Fields is going to have the better year. I don't even think there's a question about it. I will tell you this. I'm not so sure Mac Jones is going to play this year. And not because Cam Newton's going to be lighting it up, but because Mac Jones is going to clearly not be ready. That's how I think. That's what I think. Now, if they both do play, I think Justin Fields is a superior quarterback to him. Now, that's it. It all depends on the system, man. It really does. But I think Justin Fields gets a lot of hate, and it might take him some time, but I think the kid is a high-quality athlete. He's definitely a leader, and his work ethic is intact. You know what I mean? I think he's got lots of the traits that people will want. Now, I didn't dislike Mac Jones, and if we were going to like do a trade back thing and get 3 firsts and end up taking Mac Jones, and I would have been okay with that. Like Mac Jones and 3 firsts, kind of, that was how I weighed it out. But I'm very happy with the way things went. But so I don't dislike Mac Jones, but I think that if we're just calling like their first year that they play, I think Justin Fields is going to do a lot better. I think he's definitely going to have a lot more rushing yards. Isn't that funny? That's happening. Mac Jones is kind of stiff, a little bit. So, all right. So, look, I want to bring up some topics with you guys. Okay. So, number one, did you guys hear? I just got somebody sent it to me, and it might have been Jeremy. Somebody sent it to me, in Instagram. I think it was that the NFL is going to allow. Maybe it wasn't Jeremy, but the NFL is going to allow each team to have 2 helmets, 2 official helmets next year. So there's a lot of people thinking that throwback is going to be in play. So people think that's going to be throwback, and some people are thinking that the teams are going to have alternate logos and stuff like that, or maybe just different colors. So I wanted to ask you guys, and I'll change this screen a little bit. That was not you? Okay. It was you? No, it wasn't you. You were thinking of the other thing. Let me see. So, all right. So I wanted to show you. So like when we talk about different helmets, like, so if a team has 2 helmets, you think they have their main helmet, which we just put all that money into doing, and all that, all the marketing, the campaigning, all the facilities changed to this new logo that we have. I don't think that we're going to change from that, at least not now. I know there's a push out there to just change the writing of Jets to that 90s logo. So let's take a look at some options, and you guys can tell me. I will say this. The Jets 8. Okay, so let's do this. Let me see something here. I'm going to let's take a little vote on some options. Okay. I got some options queued up for you here. So who thinks this one? Now, who thinks it's going to be, or if you had your choice, this is the one that a lot of people are trying to say would be their favorite. Now, let me say this. Now, all those years that we've gone throwback and we always went to the Titans jersey, that always bothered me a little bit. Now, I know a lot of people that I like a whole bunch love that Titans logo, but for me, it doesn't sit well because it's blue. It's blue and yellow, and those colors just they don't ring to me, right? As you know, I'm green. Like, that's my thing. We can change the hue of the green, but I don't love going blue. So I always thought that our throwbacks should be to this jersey. I mean, to this helmet, this era. I always thought that. But this is my childhood helmet too. But this is the thing that bothers me about this helmet. We had very, very little success in this helmet. Now, we had some good teams. But man, is this era flimsy. We had the 82, the 84, like that. And we had 86. And then it was really bad. You know, we had the Coslet, like we kind of went to the playoffs at 8-8 that year with Raul Allegre kicking for us. Remember that? And Johnny Hector. And then and we didn't really do too much. And then it was like, right, then Kotite, then Parcells came in 97, only had this helmet for 1 year, and then moved over to the next helmet. So let's look at this. Oh, you leaving, Tom? We'll see you in a little bit. We'll be here. So if you blacked out the face mask with this one, Rusty's saying, maybe that would be good. So let's take a look at another one. Okay, so we have this one. We kind of know our feelings on this helmet. So let's take a look at a different one here. And we'll see what we, just to remind you guys of what we got. So what about this one? If you had, you remember this one? So this one was, this is not the 60s one. This is the newer, you know, the Parcells, and up until very recently helmet. So what if we had this one and the new helmet as kind of going back and forth, even like home or away or so? I don't think there's a limitation on the amount of games that they can use each helmet. But think about the black uniforms with this helmet. You know what I mean? Or I'll tell you what, in my opinion, my favorite uniform that the Jets have ever had was this helmet and the all white uniforms with this helmet. So what do you guys think about this one? Can't go back to previous. They'll never do that. So I'm actually thinking the same thing. So that's pretty good, Stephen Engel. I think it's like too recent, right? It's too recent for this. But if you had them both, let me tell you, there was a major outcry not to change this uniform. Believe me, man. I saw quite literally thousands of posts that were like, literally saying this is the classiest uniform in the league. It's pure. It's the goods. So I actually felt that way. I wasn't against changing them. I didn't love what they changed it to. I didn't hate it either, but I'm fine with it. What's up, Friggly D? I see you, buddy. So this one's a pass. That's all right, E-Rock. We know you're here, buddy. We know you're here. It's all good. So let's do this. So here, all right. So we know this one. Now let's take a look at another one here. Let's take a look at another one. Now this is going to be different. So what would you guys think? It's kind of a combo from both of these that we just showed. What do you guys think of something like this? Let me get that comment off there so we can take a look. Now I pulled this off the internet. I don't know who made it, and respect to whoever made it. You know what I mean? It's not mine. But what do you guys think about something like this? Like a white helmet with that 80s or 90s, really. Yeah, I guess 80s logo. That so many people dig. What do you guys think of this? Give me your thoughts on this one. Well, who said, wait, where was that? Has to match this colors. Yeah, so Stephen Engel. Why are you capital? Are you yelling, Stephen? Is that just a mistake? You don't have to yell. I see you. So, but if you had, now look, the color green, we can change that to Gotham green, and we're in. You know, we have white. We have, what is it called again? Spotlight white. So if the helmet was spotlight white with Gotham green, it would fit in beautifully. Imagine this helmet too, with like Rusty Spooner said, with the blacked out face mask and the all black uniforms, the stealth black. What do you guys think? Needs a black grill, right, Gitmo Bob? I'm not against that. So, right. So instead of the green face mask, we have black. Right? That would be kind of cool. Well, right. Yeah. Like, so Nick's, we changed the color green is not what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because like we would clearly have, just like Steve said, we would have to use, I like, right, Steve, you're funny, man. I like what he said, but it's like we keep the color scheme. It's got to still be Gotham green. I don't dislike our colors. I like the colors. I like what they did, that we have our own hue of green, our own version of white. How can you believe in the year 2020 or 19, whatever it was, we still found another way to make white? Can you believe that? That's incredible. I don't know how they do this. You think all the colors of white would be taken? I don't know. I don't get it. What? Wait a minute, Frank. What is this? Green has nothing to do with Jets anyways. Green is our color, buddy. I staunchly disagree. Staunchly. Green is it. Green is it. I am closed off to this thought process, man. So look, if you don't like green, right? So we have this thing. And this is what I'm talking about. So if we phased out green and we went to this old Titans thing, man, like, I just don't dig it. Do you guys dig that? I don't hate when guys like wear the jersey. Like, it looks kind of cool, but it's just, I struggle with connecting that helmet to the Jets. Don't you? I love the green. Green is everything. Green's my favorite color, hands down. Period. Jeremy, you hate the Titans or you hate that previous helmet? This one's ugly. Yeah, this is the Titans helmet. This one looks like it was played a little bit. It's just a picture I grabbed off the internet, right? Let me see something here. Watch this. You try to get hold on a second. There's all kinds of weird shit. So let me. What do you guys think of this? Let me get this one for you. Let me get you guys this one here. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it for you guys. Hold on. Come on, computer. Here we go. All right. You ready? So look at this thing. Now, it's a little bit cocky. I just grabbed the first one I saw. But you can get the point. We don't have to hang ourselves on the semantics of it all. All right, we'll just look at the thing. So what do you guys think of this thing? Right? Now, what do you guys think of this? Yeah, that's what, Frank, there's a lot of cool ones. That's where I was hanging out earlier. Right now I'm just on Google kind of pulling some stuff, but yeah, I know, Jack. That's a very good point. Frank, I don't think you thought this through. If they changed the colors to blue or something, I'd have to be called Blue Bean. That wouldn't make any sense. You gotta think about all variables, my friend. You'd really be screwing me, man. It does. It reminds me of Michigan State. Except they're green. But why does it? I don't know. It reminds me of yeah. So you guys like this one? Bingo. Look at you guys. You guys are hilarious. Jeremy likes this one too. Maybe the 90s image with the black back. Okay, watch this. Let me see this. How about this? How about this one? Are you ready? Here. This is fun. Here we go. I'll get you guys. Where'd it go? Come on, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. All right, you guys ready for this one? Check this one out. This is a little newer, so it's gonna be, you guys won't like it, but it's neat. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this one? You know, that's not bad, Frank. At least seeing now, look. See, this is the opinion. This is my impression. My impression is you at least given this some thought. You know what I mean? Okay. You don't have to agree with it. You've at least thought it through. Okay? Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Did you see that one, Byron? Okay, I'll find that one for you. This one's kind of, it's weird. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't know if I like the matte. Like, if that was shiny black, that would be something different, right? All right, here, Byron, let me find something for you here. What about this one? Wait. wait, Byron, I'll get to yours in a second. Look at this stupid thing. Wait. I'm labeling this one Jets dumb. Okay, hold on. See if you guys like it. Here we go. This is how it gets out there. People thinking. This is what happens when people think. Okay? All right. This is what happens when people think too hard. What do you think? It looks like it says Joe, doesn't it? Joe. What do you guys think of this? That's not a bad idea, James. I see that. Now let's do this real quick. I'm going to do that for Byron. Hold on. I'm going to show Byron. There's one I saw. Let's see here real quick. All right. This is, I mean, it's incorporating the new logo, which might be something they prefer. So, I mean, this isn't unrealistic for me. I don't know if they'll ever go this way, maybe for like one game or something like that, but it's interesting. Check it out. What do you guys think of that? It's got the old camo on it. Oh, that one was terrible. Or the Joes. I know. Isn't that funny? Joe Mama. It does look like Joe, though, didn't it? I was like, nah. All right, let me see. Rusty is asking for the Jet Skyline helmet. Let me see. Let me see here. Oh, look at this one. Is this the one you mean? This is interesting. This is interesting. Let me see this one. Come on. Okay. Check this out, guys. Let me get rid of this one. So what do you think, Byron, real quick? Do you like this one? Black and green was way better. So do you like this one? Needs more nuance, this one? What's up, Cadoza? We see you, buddy. All right, so let me show you this one. Hold on. All right, there you go, Byron. Let's see here. Look at this. This is for Rusty Spooner. Let me see if this is the one that you were talking about. I like this. This might be my favorite one so far, honestly. It's neat. It's totally unique. What do you think about something like that? Is that the one you're talking about, Rusty? Kelly Green. So you guys like? I know I like Kelly Green too. I do. I'm okay with the Gotham Green though. I like it. What do you guys think of this one? Isn't this nice? Is this the one you were talking about? Who said that? Too bad they play in Jersey. Have a Skyline of Hoboken. You guys got to get off that one. You're gonna have to get past it. You know what I mean? It's been a long time, man. They've been playing in New Jersey since what, the 80s, dude. Right? What year did they move over? Wasn't it like 84 or something crazy like that? I was young, man. I remember when they were building Giant Stadium, I feel like. Maybe not. Is this the one? Where did he go? Where's Rusty Spooner? That's it. Okay, good. Let me see. They have it in white too. So white with the green buildings. So I like this one. So that one might be my favorite. Maybe if we had like we lesson that NY Jets on it, or like I still like the football thing. I don't know. Your first game was at Shea. Yeah, I was too young. I remember, you know what I remember? I remember watching it on TV when the Jets fans tore down the goalposts and all that stuff at Shea. I remember that. I remember that game. I don't remember. I definitely watched games at Shea, but I can't remember that. You know what I mean? I remember the game when they tore it all down. Need some Statue of Liberty action. Maybe it's on there somewhere. Maybe it's on the back. Right in the back. There's a huge Statue of Liberty coming up. If that's what the stripe is. What do you think? It's a big Statue of Liberty stripe. The biggest New Jersey landmark is the Statue of Liberty, dude. You know it's in New Jersey water. The thing is, from New Jersey, that's the only place to see the New York skyline. Where else are you seeing it? Maybe Brooklyn. You know, you can't be in New York City and see it. If you're going to look at the New York City skyline, there's no view like New Jersey. None. Yeah, so it is there. It is their thing. That's it. It's facing New York. That's the whole thing. So exactly. So I'm with it. Brooklyn Promenade. Yeah. I mean, look, I remember hanging out all down there. I used to work in Brooklyn, and you can see that's a great view down there when you're down the south side of Manhattan, and you see like that area right against the water there. It's beautiful, man. Battery Park and all that. It's beautiful. But here's the thing: they're not going to move back to Queens. They're not. This is the Jersey thing, and they're going to keep New York because it makes a ton of sense. Because you can see New York skyline from the stadium. You know what's funny, man? We're just as close, like as far as where our stadium is to New York City. It's really the same distance as so many other stadiums, man, like that are on the outskirts of their city. You know, some are dead smack in the middle, but as far as like the city proper and where the stadiums are, a lot of the times they're right there. We're only 10 minutes away. So it just happens to be a state line, but it's the same difference. I just hate the stadium itself. I don't mind. I mean, I'm from New Jersey too, so I have that side of things going on. You know what I mean? Lived in Dumbo. Great view. Where's Dumbo? What's Dumbo? She had a great view of New York City from her apartment. In Dumbo? Where's Dumbo? I can't figure it out. Hey, yo. Yeah, you can put my face on the helmet. I'm going to make one of those. I have some people that send me stuff. I'm gonna ask somebody to make me one of those. You know who's really cool? You know our guy Josh Adams. He's from the UK. I showed you guys the flag a couple weeks ago that he made. He's gonna send me some stuff that he made, so I'll be able to show you guys. But yeah, I know. Look, the stadium by the Hudson. But you know what? You know what the thing is that when they were talking about it, that was not all the shipyards and stuff. All that stuff wasn't rebuilt yet, and that they took over that stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's like $1 trillion real estate these days, and it's like, they could have did it. They could have did it then that was the Herm years when they were talking about the West Side Stadium. And that didn't work. That was the time. If we were going to do it, it was then. Because now that was all still undeveloped. It was like all dilapidated and stuff. Remember? People would go laying out suntan on those abandoned docks and stuff. I used to go out there. Like Chelsea, I think. Right? Like over in that area. It's under the Manhattan Bridge, not Brooklyn Bridge. What is? Down under the Manhattan. What is that? New York Jets pilot helmet is pretty cool too. A different type of matte green. What's under the Brooklyn Bridge? Dumbo? Is that what you're saying? Dollar Heineken night. I'm not talking. That's funny. That's right. And this is it, Rags. This is exactly my point. It's like a lot of people say, let's go to Queens or let's go over here. Let's go over there. There was Long Island City was being discussed. And that's all well and good. Technically speaking, they're New York, so it's fine, but they're further away from New York. It's, the city, which is the kind of Nobody, it's the same thing with New Jersey. It's like when they talk about New York City, they're not talking about Queens. With respect, they're not talking about Long Island. They're talking about Manhattan. That's what they're talking about. So East Rutherford is just as close, if not closer. Now, it sucks for guys who live over in Queens and Long Island and Brooklyn and all that. If you live over on McGinnis, like getting from McGinnis all the way through the Midtown Tunnel and then the bridge and all that stuff. Dude, it's like, what, 5 miles or something like that? It'd take you 2 hours. So I get it. It's not easy. But for all the other Jets fans, like Connecticut, New York State, New Jersey, all that stuff, it's easier to get to East Rutherford than it is to get to that. It's cheaper too. It's cheaper. But that all is what it is. All right. So, all right. So we'll take this off. So you guys, let me just say this. If you had to have a choice between white helmet, green helmet, blue helmet for the alternative helmet, like we're going to be keeping our helmet. Would you like the alternative to be a white helmet, a green helmet, or a black helmet, or the blue Titans thing? Which one would you go with? First choice. If you had to pick one, would it be another green? Man, tissue. That's all right, Galizia. We're here. Did you? I used to perform at the Improv on Melrose in Los Angeles. That was when I lived in my van. I used to live in my van in Los Angeles. I used to perform at the Improv, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, all that stuff. Haha Cafe. I used to do all that stuff. White. I'm with you, Byron. I am. Jim says black. Muhammad Khomeini says black. Either shiny black or white. Right. I like the shiny white. That's my black would be interesting too, though. The white face mask, JS. Yeah. Frank says black. Brooklyn ain't Brooklyn anymore. I know. That's what happens. It's like Alphabet City. When I used to go into the city when I was a teenager in early 20s, and I'd go to like CB's or the Bitter End and all that sort of stuff down there. It was the coolest. I mean, it was dangerous at times, but I loved it, man. I felt like I was in the city. I felt like I was doing something. Now, it's like I feel like it's like going into the Bowery. It's like, I mean, progress is progress, I suppose, but it doesn't feel like St. Mark still kind of does, I guess. But it's so different. It's just so different down there to me. I went down, I was like, what is this place? It doesn't look anything like what I remember. And look, there was a lot of drugs and stuff. So I guess there's nothing wrong with cleaning places up, I guess. But you never clean anything up. You only push it. That's what happens. It's like when they cleaned up sections of Newark and when they did Western Newark, and it just pushes it into Irvington. You know what I mean? And Orange and everywhere else. That's all it does. Right, Condoza? St. Mark's Pizza, absolutely. I used to like going to St. Mark's Place, and I used to get these $2 shirts. I used to go into these little thrift stores on St. Mark's, and then we would get these shirts. You know what I mean? Like, just because it looks kind of cool. It's like nobody has this shirt like from 40 years ago. And I used to play in bands and stuff in the city. I used to do all that stuff, man. It is. It really is. I mean, look, of course, you don't want areas like the Bowery, like where people just go and lay on the streets and all that stuff. Like it doesn't help anybody. But at the same time, you can't just push it out without fixing it. You have to fix it. It's like it's happening in Philly. My buddy lives in Philly, and he's just like, man, you don't even know. Like his street is like half gentrified and half like the people who've been there for 20, 30, 40 years, and they hate each other. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want it. And the new people, they don't want the old element in there. And it's baloney. You're not fixing anything by pushing people around. It happened in Fort Lauderdale, too. I ran a treatment center in Fort Lauderdale. And they literally went in there and bought whole blocks. They would just buy an entire block of Fort Lauderdale, and they would just say, you have a month to move. That's it. And then they would tear all the houses down, everything. We had a sober house there, at a 51-bed sober house. They gave us They gave us 3 weeks. I had 51 kids in there recovering from addiction. They gave us 3 weeks to figure out where to put them. 3 weeks. It's terrible. But that's what happens. They just cleaned the whole thing. They just made these nice high-rise apartments, and they're pretty and beautiful. Now there's a, what do you call that? Mellow mushroom. There's all that stuff, It's like nobody's the wiser, but I know what was there. And it was dangerous, so I get it. But anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on a little bit. Let's do this. So we talked about this. So I think the white helmet is the one. I think the white helmet for me would be the one. If I had to pick one, I would go with the white helmet. But it's going to be interesting, guys. Next year, 2022, they're allowing teams to have 2 helmets. Like it's almost like a college thing, like 2 official helmets, like the one that they have, and then another helmet that they can use as much as they want to use. The way I understood it, I just breezed over the thing, But I think that's pretty cool. I like that kind of stuff. It's like, it's like the changing the numbers to the college thing. I don't know. I'm older, so I struggle with that kind of thing. But as far as like different looks and all that, like I like that. I like how college teams, like they can have completely different uniforms for different things. And obviously you see the NBA. I saw the Brooklyn Nets wearing the old 90s Nets logo. And that was when I was the only person in the stadium, in the arena in Bern. I was just sitting there in Bern watching the terrible Jason Williams-led Nets, but I liked the logo. I liked like how the N went around the basketball, and I see them wearing that stuff. What's up, Three Amigos? It's good to see you. All right. So there you go. Do you remember what's this? Let me see, David. Do you remember Poster Matt back in the 80s near Gray Papaya near the F train? No, I don't remember Poster Matt, but the Gray's Papaya that I liked was over where the hell was that? It was like near Washington Square Park. Like a block, like an avenue away from Washington Square Park. That was the Gray's Papaya that I went to all the time. Because I was always drunk, and that was the place. I get a papaya juice and 2 dogs for like $1, whatever it was. Remember that place? Gray's Papayas knocking it out of the park. At least they were. I thought they closed down, didn't they? All right. So let's move on to the next thing then. So let me remind you a couple things. One is, please like the video. It's important, as you guys know. If you haven't subbed to the channel by this point, please do. It takes less than 1 second to do it. Just boop. And then you can do it. Three Amigos is leading the charge. He liked the video. I wanted to tell you guys about a couple things, little public service announcement. Number one, I do a pretty good job of obviously getting to you guys. I scan the chat constantly, so I'm always looking. But if you want to get something in for sure, you make sure I see it. Super chat is available, of course, and I always appreciate that. But something big that I just figured out how to do. I get all these emails and Instagram messages and stuff with people asking how they can support. So what I did was I created a Patreon. Now, if you guys want to become Patreon or patrons to my channel, that is incredibly appreciated. I have 3 tiers, 5, 10, and 20. And I give you different things, and I'm setting up all these different private things that we'll be able to do and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to, the link is in the top of this video, like in the description. Anything you do is appreciated, man. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew about that. Patreon is official. And another thing, I released the first article from our buddy here. He's in the chat right now, Jeremy Cravat. Jeremy is keeping tabs on all of our 2021 draft pick quarterback. So the entire rookie class, he's keeping track of all their progress and everything. So we don't have to. So he's going to be putting it all together week by week by week. And those articles are going to be put, or blogs really, are going to be put on my website, greenbeanjetsfan.com, and they'll be on the front page. And he's the first of what we're calling the P's of the pod. And there's somebody else working on some things too, another viewer, one of you guys. And yeah, and I'm really excited about it, man. I'm excited to give guys a platform that want to share stuff and want to, they want to write or they want to film a video. I'm happy to do that and give guys a platform so they can at least get it out there, and some people will see it. So if you haven't yet, go give Jeremy's blog a read. It's on my website, GreenBeanJetsfan.com. If you want to support the channel, two ways. One is Super Chat. Two is Patreon. And again, guys, I mean this sincerely. If you choose to do that, it is appreciated. It's not like, trying to become a millionaire here. You know what I mean? It's appreciated. So that all said, let us move on. Let's get rid of this thing. Let's get rid of that, and we'll move to, let's see what the next thing is. Let's see. We got some stuff to talk about. So we talked about the Pats harassment in Maine. We did that. We did the helmet. So we have 3 more topics, and it can be anything you guys want, but we have, we can discuss our coaching staff. If you guys didn't know, I created a video where I broke down a little bit of the more prominent and important members of our coaching staff. Now, that's not to minimize anyone on our coaching staff, man. But the truth is that there are some guys, and there's a way that this coaching staff was constructed that I found completely fascinating. I found it completely fascinating, and how they did it with the ability to have young coaches in the mix, young guys who might be forward thinking, that youthful excitement and exuberation and all that. So those guys, they need a shot. So this staff wants to give them a shot, but they're not going to just leave it to the young guys to make their mistakes. So we also have some incredible veteran, long-time experienced and successful NFL coaches in here, namely John Benton, who I love to call Ben Breedson for some weird reason, and Charles, right? Knapp. Let me make sure. I fucking hate when I say stupid stuff. Let's see here. Where'd he go? Yep. No, Greg Knapp. There he is. Greg Knapp. So if you guys have any questions on that, let me know your thoughts, man. I mean, these guys. So it's really incredible how they did it. So we all know about Saleh. And it's funny, I got a comment from somebody who said they were mad at me that I didn't mention Boyer. I mentioned Boyer, but I didn't want to get into him because he's been here for 6 years and everybody knows him. Everybody knows who Boyer is. So we wanted to make sure that I got enough time with the coaches that we don't know, like Rob Calabrese and Greg Knapp and John Benton and even Mike LaFleur and Ulbricht. And Ulbricht had one of the greatest things on Flight 2021, and we'll talk about that. But, oh, what's this? Okay, so Heimendall, hey, man, this guy's great. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Hey, Green Bean, love the content and discussion board. I'm getting more excited each day. Just can't wait for the season to start. 9-8 with a playoff run is in the cards if all right, so if everything we want to work out works out. So that's the question, right? You're asking me if. I honestly believe that we're going to surprise some people. Now, that's not to say it can't all swirl down the toilet. It can. And if things like injuries get a hold of us again, or like Saleh's overwhelmed by being in the head position for the first year and stuff like that, maybe Mike LaFleur's not as good while calling the plays, those types of things. That's a whole different level of responsibility, as we know. So if that kind of stuff happens, it can go south quick. But here's the thing. I don't think it's going to. And the reason I don't think it's going to is because guys like Saleh and like Ulbricht and like Greg Knapp and like John Benton, they've been around for a long time. So Greg Knapp was around with Steve Young. You know what I mean? Like, that's who he was coaching. It's just, dude, we have so much experience on this roster, and so, well, let's say on the staff, that I don't think it's going to happen. Now, the only thing that can undo it, than that I put aside. So the only thing that can do it would be injuries. And look what Joe Douglas did to try to ebb that. So they're already talking about Mims and Becton. And it's OTAs. They're already holding them out and discussing things about their health and OTAs. They're not waiting. They're not just letting them ride it out until we get into the season or into training camp. And he's ruining his hamstrings every week and we can't get him on the field. Joe Douglas completely reconstructed our entire medical, nutrition, and rehabilitation departments and training. So it didn't just flip trainers, as we know. We didn't just fire the trainer and bring in a trainer. We did that, but we brought in 4 new doctors and an entirely new department overseeing all of those other departments: nutrition, training, medical, and rehabilitation. We have 4 new doctors in the house. New doctors. Overseen by Brad DeWeese, who's the main doctor over everybody. So all these departments are going to be discussing the same thing. They're under the same umbrella, so they're not going to be battling each other. They're all going to know what the other one's doing so they can work in concert with one another. So it's incredible, man. I think we're going to surprise some people. Our schedule is not brutal. That's why I put schedule on there. It's not, any schedule is tough, but this is not a brutal schedule. This is a workable schedule. And we can start 3-0. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think we could start 3-0. We're getting the Patriots at the right time. They're still trying to slap together a dream team of sorts. We're going to be able to take care of it, man. So that's what I think, John. And I do appreciate it, buddy. Sincerely, I appreciate it. Thank you. Any thoughts on that, guys? That's right, Cadoza. And this is what we see with Flight 2021. For the first time in forever. Now, it's not to say we got a window into our previous staff, but I think that was probably because they weren't in lockstep. But we even heard about it with Mike McCagnon. He didn't let his scouts discuss these things with the coaches. And unless they had specific meetings for that. He didn't want the coaches tainting his scouts with their wants. So he looked at it as kind of adversarial. He had his whole analytics department and all that kind of stuff. And he didn't want the coaches coming in there and affecting and making their scouts think things like that. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, which is why Bowles hated him. Todd Bowles and Mike McCagnon were not friends. So I think so. I really do. Think about this, guys. Here's all our question marks. CJ Mosley is a huge question mark. Let's just look at the positive for a minute. And why not, right? Why not? You look at CJ Mosley. If this guy comes back and he's felt, he's young, he's ready, man. He's re-inspired because of Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich. What if Quinnen Williams continues his progression upward like Ulbrich thinks he's going to do? What if Sheldon Rankins and Carl Lawson come in and provide the pass rush that we think they're going to, or that they hope they're going to? What if the pass rush is legit enough that our cornerbacks that we have on the team are more than good enough? Bryce Hall, I think, is already good enough. What if Blesson Austin or Jason Pinnock or whoever, they're good enough with a legitimate pass rush? They can cover for 3 seconds. You know what I mean? What if the safeties that we have are more than adequate in coverage? What if guys like Jamie Sherwood and Nasruddin come in with Jared Davis and light up the other linebacker departments? Ulbrich is very high on Jared Davis, man. He said he has another level of physicality. Another level of physicality. The guy was misused by an idiot of a defensive coordinator / head coach in Detroit. So that's just the defense. What if Zach Wilson is 75% of what everybody hopes he is? Right? What if Corey Davis continues his upward swing? What if Keelan Cole continues his upward swing? What if Denzel Mims is what we thought he was going to be? What if Elijah Moore is half of what we think he's going to be? What if Michael Carter is the best back we've had here since Chris Ivory? Right? What if this offensive line is top 15 instead of bottom 2? You know what I mean? So if any of those things take place, dude, we're surprising people. We're 500 at our floor. It's like Frank just said, we're not losing till Indy. Let's look at the Jets schedule. Hold on. So let me share this with you. We'll take a look at the schedule. So we jump to schedule. Then I really do want to get into Flight 2021 with you guys. Dude, we're so fortunate to have a nugget like this to chew on. Where am I? Jets 20. Come on. Hold on. Wrong one. All right. So let's do this. Hold on. Can you guys see this? Hold on. Can you see it? I got to get my second screen up. It sucks doing all this stuff on one screen because it's all layered. You know what I mean? It's on top of one another, and I can't see something and then see if you guys see it. So, all right. So let's do this. Frank, you ready? You guys ready? We're gonna do this. Huff, Franklin Myers. Yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. So let me just, while we're talking about those guys, what's up, Go Hanger? It's good to see you, bud. Jeff Ulbricht said in the Flight 2021 series, he was talking about Carl Lawson, and he said Carl Lawson is one of the best one of the strongest pass rushers in the NFL. He said he doesn't have all those traditional stats that you see. He said when he comes around, what quarterbacks always do with him is they step into the pocket because he closes off that side and chases them forward, right? He said the problem with that with us is that the guys we have on the interior line, there's not going to be a pocket. There's not going to be a pocket for quarterbacks to escape into. Dude, I damn near wanted to punch my computer just hearing that. There's not going to be a pocket. So he said Carl Lawson's stats are going to be more representative of his talent this year because in this defense, he's going to be allowed to let loose more than he has been in Cincinnati. Add that to Forlanzo Fatukasi, Kyle Phillips, Bryce Huff, Jabari Zuniga, John Franklin Myers, Vinny Curry, Nathan Shepard. Add it. Dude, our defensive line rotation is stellar. It's the best thing we have. And behind them, we have C.J. Mosley, Jared Davis, and either Damian Sherwood or Hamza Nasruddin. Young linebackers. Don't forget, Jared Davis is only going in his 5th year. Dude, all the guys we brought in are about to hit prime. Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, Jared Davis, Carl Lawson, they're all going to hit prime. That's where Ronald Blair, right? Ronald Blair and Vinny Curry are not going into their prime, but the other guys are. That's right. Most of the rookies have one thing in common. They hit hard and are good tacklers. Absolutely. Good. They're so right. Listen, man, so many draft analysis sites and predictive big boards and all that kind of stuff. They had Nasruddin as like a top 4 or 5 safety in the entire draft. We got him in the 6th round. It's crazy. It's high time, guys. It's high time that we're the guy finding Richard Sherman in the 6th. We're the guy finding Antonio Brown in the 6th. And we're the guy finding who's the guy? Cam Chancellor as an undrafted free agent or whatever. You know what I mean? It's our time because we have a regime that does their homework. They go through every single scenario beforehand. They know what they're doing. It's the first time for us. We have guys that shouldn't even be in the NFL running this team. So Byron Atkinson, thank you for the super chat, my man. Thanks for the show, Green Bean. Got to run and put my kid down for the midday nap. We'll catch up on your Flight 2021 take later. I saw it. It was really great. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for being here. Hopefully the kid falls asleep quickly for you. I know how that can be. I assure you. So thanks again, man. We appreciate you hanging out with us for sure. And we'll see you. We'll see you soon. I know it. Thank you. Gotta love putting kids down to sleep. Seems like I don't know where he is. Midday nap. Huh? Where are you? Are you in New Zealand, Byron? He might be in Australia or something. I forget. That's awesome. Jets by Jimmy's here. Jets by Jimmy's got a Titans jersey. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, and this is the thing. This is the thing with a four-man front, and this is why I love it. And like I've told you guys before, I associate the New York Jets with the four-man front. The Sack Exchange was a four-man front. The 90s version, it wasn't the Sack Exchange, but a very, very good defensive line was a four-man front with Dennis Byrd, Lageman, Marvin Washington, Scott Mersereau, those guys. For me, that's traditional Jets football. That's what it is for me. So the fact that we're going back to that, I love that. Now, if you can get legitimate pressure with your four men, whenever you send a blitz, it's going to ruin their day. If your four gives their five a hard time, dude, it opens up everything. Instead of sending three that they take care of and then having to try to trick them with exotic blitzes. I mean, that's fine too if you do that well, but eventually they seem to catch on to it. Look at our cover zero blitz last year. We sent everybody and they blocked them. Just that simple. If we had a four-man front that could get to them and we decided to send two more guys, they're in trouble. They cannot handle them. You know? Oh, what happened, Jimmy? I didn't hear anything. Oh, man. Dude, that's terrible. I'm so sorry, Jimmy. I'll reach out to you, man. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that. I'm sorry. I lost a Jets buddy last week too. So I get it. I'm sorry to hear that, Jimmy. Sincerely. I'm glad you stopped by, man. Maybe distract your brain for a few minutes. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I saw that too, man. I saw that. So that's who it was. I'm sorry to hear that, guys. Yeah, it's a bummer. It is. There's no way to sugar it. Matthias Farley may have missed his assignment. I don't know. What I saw was the entire team rush into their line. I watched that play over and over. And let me tell you, they handled it. We sent the house and they handled it. Now, as far as leaving, like, it's funny because you remember, guys, the play before that, we don't have to dissect this turd of a season, but the play before that, they had more of a spread defense in there. And let me tell you, they got burned. Marcus May in particular got burned. It was an errant pass by Carr. So that's why Greg Williams decided to dial it up. He said, you know what? I'm not going down that way. I'm going to take it to him. And I get it. I actually appreciate that. I like Greg Williams. He's never going to get a job in the NFL again, I don't think. I think his time is done. Sad. Think about this. The year before, people were actually concerned that Greg Williams was going to get pegged for a head coaching job. You know what I mean? He did so well with our ragamuffin defense that they thought he was going to get asked to, offers for a head coaching job. A year later, he's fired week 15. And he's never going to work again. Maybe he will. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it. Yep, I think, you know what, though, Garrett? I think that Greg Williams may not have had that many choices. I know Washington was looking at him, too, when we hired him. They interviewed him, but the problem is Daniel Snyder already screwed him over. So he wasn't happy with Daniel Snyder. So he wasn't going to go there. That was the only real option that he had, from what I remember. What's up, Illuminati? See you, buddy. Yeah, so poor Greg Williams. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't have a bunch of scrubs on the field. So you can't cover them all the time. You know what I mean? I just feel bad for Lamar Jackson on that one because he played well, considering he was an undrafted free agent with warts. You know what I mean? The guy, he's got so much talent, but he's raw. He has lots to work on. The good news with him is that all of his deficiencies are workable. The problem is you can't stick him out on an island against Ruggs with the game on the line. And look, I'll be real honest with you guys. And you remember, I was happy. That play, I couldn't even believe it happened. The dream was still alive. Remember, we were hoping for T-Law. Yeah, that's just it. I just want to see our four-man front be able to get pressure, and I think they're going to. Like I said, when Ulbrich said Carl Lawson's going to wreak havoc because the quarterbacks, traditionally, they're able to step up into the pocket against him. That's where he has his difficulty. And they're not going to be able to go into a pocket because there's not going to be one this year. Dude, I never heard anything I liked more. I mean, last time I got that pumped when Rex, they said that Rex is talking, is putting a target on our back. And he said, that's great because we already have a target on your chest. Remember that one? Remember that? Yeah, me too, Bob. I did. Do you remember that when Rex would say that? They said, all you're talking and your bluster is putting a target on your team's back. And he said, that's great because we already have a target on your chest. I know, but the Rex did that stuff all day. That's the thing, David. He called him inept, but let me tell you something. Rex Ryan went down like that a lot. He went down in flames. Don't forget, man, with all respect to Rex Ryan, it was his defense that got beat up in the second half of the Colts game that year when we should have went to the Super Bowl. We were kicking their ass. And the defense right before the half let Peyton Manning come back. I mean, dude, Peyton Manning was on fire. So maybe nobody could have stopped him. But Rex's defense was inconsistent, to say the least. When it was good, it was good. But Rex's defense had a lot of issues, man. So Rex was not immune from sending a sick blitz and getting burned. It happens. Yeah, I hope we end up keeping Lamar Jackson. That's what I hope he makes it. But we have a lot of guys that are, showing us some potential, guys you want to keep around. And obviously we just drafted a bunch of defensive backs. So we drafted 3 that count as cornerbacks. We have Michael Carter II, Jason Pinnock, and Eccles, and Isaiah Dunn. So we have these 4 guys we brought into the house, and that's to go with Lamar Jackson, Bryce Hall, plus on Austin, and then that's not even bringing in, the safeties, right? So who knows? I don't know how many we're going to keep, but it's got to end somewhere. And I don't know how many guys you can stash on the practice squad. I think guys like Eccles can be stashed on the practice squad. Maybe Lamar Jackson. I don't know. It's going to be tough. We're going to have to make some tough decisions, and thankfully for once we have to do that instead of, wait until other teams cut their players so we can have the best players on our team. Ugh, so sick of it. Butterfly effect. Thank you, Abstraiku. Greg calls cover 3. Ball is batted down. Jets go 3-13. They keep Sam and trade down with the 49ers like the Dolphins. Yep. See that? Like, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Like, it's like, let me ask you guys this. As miserable as Adam Gase was, as the last 2 years really were, would you trade it? You know what I mean? For like what? For Matt Rule and Mike McCagnon hanging around? Mike McCagnon not letting Matt Rule's coaches talk to his scouts? That's what we'd be dealing with. And they wouldn't. I mean, I find it difficult. So I think Strike's got a point. It's like, these types of things, these types of things end up working out sometimes. Like, we needed to be the bottom of the barrel. We needed to have the number 2 pick. For whatever reason, Zach Wilson's the right guy as far as the way the Jets see it. There was a moment that Robert Saleh was talking about evaluating Zach Wilson, and he said the interesting thing about this is that their offense is close to ours, so we were actually able to watch him running plays that we would run. So we got to see this kid running our offense in many respects, and that's one of the reasons that they like him so much. Now, that's not to say they didn't like Trevor Lawrence more. Maybe they did, but it seems like this was the guy as far as they were concerned. It seems like that. And as far as the way he's handling being here, OTAs and everything, I love it. I think he's knocking it out of the park. He's showing just enough personality, in my opinion. I think it's great. So I think it's that guy. We all have our differing opinions one way or the other on this or that, or where they got to go, or who's good and all that. But I think the way that it ended with Robert Saleh, Mike LaFleur, Jeff Ulbricht in here with Bram Boyer, under Joe Douglas, Phil Savage, Rex Hogan, Chad Alexander, and all those guys, I think it's perfect. I really do. I really do. I think it's perfect. I think it's exactly what needed to happen. And it feels different. Or Wilson? Who's Wilson? Or the Jets would have traded to number 2. Oh, because they were so fascinated. Well, maybe. Hey, who knows? What if we went 0-16? You think we would have taken Trevor Lawrence? Who thinks that? If we were picking first, do you think we still have Zach Wilson? What do you guys think? Do you guys think we still have Zach Wilson, or do you think we take Trevor Lawrence? What do you guys think? Right. I see what Jeremy thinks. Yeah. That's a big one. But I actually agree with Jeremy. I think they would have probably taken Trevor Lawrence. But Frank brings up a good point. They talked about that all the time in Flight 2021 about his being a natural thrower. And there was a lot of little nitpicky things that Mike LaFleur seemed to really like about Zach Wilson. He said, this is the guy. This is our guy. And he said, look, you can't predict how anyone's career is gonna go, but these are the reasons that he has a chance to be something in this league. They love him. They love him. Oh, Zach. It's funny. Somebody, he just said, what Wilson? I'm like, who's Wilson? It's fucking so fried out sometimes. I think that we would have probably taken Trevor Lawrence too. That's what I think. But that's not to say I'm unhappy with this. I think it worked out, man. As long as we lost enough that Adam Gase was gone, I didn't care. You know what I mean? So let's do this. Let's go through our schedule real quick and see which games we honestly think we're going to lose. Okay? And win, for that matter. Let me get a sip of liquid here. Yeah, I'm back. All right, so the preseason doesn't matter, correct? So game 1 against the Panthers. Who's winning? What was that? Who said stupid question? Anders, where are you? I didn't see it, Anders. So Rusty Spooner's playing. Chris Simmons had Zach before Trevor. Yeah, I know. Chris Sims. I hear you, David. I do. I don't know. Chris Sims. You know what I mean? Like these guys that always get it right. Like, and maybe this is part of my inner workings. I'm just like my feelings on that is when you guess outside the box so often, maybe it's not a guess, but when you think outside the box so often, eventually you're going to be wrong. And where are you going to be wrong? With us? I don't want to be wrong with us. I'm wrong with somebody else. You know what I mean? But I'm really happy with Zach Wilson. I am. Everything included. I'm happy it's him. I even prefer that it's not Trevor Lawrence. I just don't want that kind of golden boy stuff. Just, let the pressure be over there. So, what do you guys think? So, Rusty says it's a W. Jack Oliveri says it's a W. Shawnee Darts says W. Right. Braden says Jets. Nice. W. Come on, man. All right. So, you guys are thinking we win game 1. So, we're 1-0, right? So, that's what you're saying. Now, look, next week we got the Patriots at home. Be honest here. What do you think is going to happen? 31-10. Nice, Frank. E-Rock says W. So let's switch it over to the Pats. Jeremy's first. There's going to be ghosts in the house. So what do you think? Now, the Patriots, we're getting them week 2 with their makeshift team. They're trying to piece it all together. They got Jonnu Smith and, Judon and all these guys. They put it all together with Cam Newton at the helm. What's up, John? We see you. So you think we're going to win, E-Rock. So, John, we're figuring out the schedule. We're doing some predictions. So everybody's saying W. You think we're going to beat the Pats at home? Garrett says if Cam is starting, Jets win. If Mac Jones is playing, toss-up. Interesting. I think if Mac Jones is playing, Salah and Ulbrich are going to destroy him. That's what I think. They did get, what's his name back there? Left tackle, Brown. But 3 years later, so who knows? 38-10 Jets. Right, there you go. I know, we're so excited. Every game's a W, yeah. W, you're going to be at that game? Good. I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be there. I won't be around. I'll be gone by that time. I'll be out of this area entirely. If I was up here, I might head down. That's right. And Belichick looks miserable. No, I don't doubt that Mac Jones is going to be a good quarterback. I just don't think week 2 he's going to. That's my only thought, Garrett. I think week 2, that's the perfect time to get Mac Jones. Give me Mac Jones. I'd love it. Send Carl Lawson snarling, Quinnen Williams in his face all day long, and then send Jared Davis through the B gap and let him light him up. So you got a super chat of Strike-You. Thank you, buddy. If we had pick number 1, Bill Cowher may have been the coach or at least interviewed. Could have been for the better or for worse. Twilight Zone. Yeah, I know. I don't think the Bill Cowher thing was ever real. I think Boomer Esiason just did that to do what Boomer Esiason does, which is try to get ratings. I don't think it was ever real. Bill Cowher's come up many times over the years, as you guys are well aware. And he hasn't coached in 20 years or whatever it is, right? But wasn't it like 1999 or something like that he coached? 97, something like that. So I don't know. It's like the Gruden thing. You guys think Gruden's doing a good job? I don't think he's necessarily doing a terrible job, but I don't think he's doing a very good job. He's got a 10-year contract, so maybe he's got time. But I don't know. He's going into his 4th year, and they haven't done much. You know what I mean? So, but thank you, Strike-You. I mean, it's very possible. If we had the number 1 pick, who knows? Maybe we had some guys that would have interviewed that didn't interview at number 2. I don't know. Maybe they want to play with Trevor Lawrence. It's a good point. It is. Did you guys recall Wilson in 2018 or 19 admitted he needed labrum surgery on his other shoulder, too? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's see. Jeremy says his Mac Jones blog will say it all, guys. So don't forget, Jeremy's doing the blog about the rookie quarterback class weekly. On Tuesdays, we'll be releasing a new blog from Jeremy right here in their chat on GreenBeanjetsfan.com. So that would be awesome. You guys go in there and read it. So let's look at week 3. So right now, as far as this chat is concerned, we're 2-0. So then we go out to Denver and we play the Teddy Bridgewater-led Denver Broncos, either Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock. They passed on a quarterback too, didn't they? Who'd they take in the draft? Does anybody remember? Let me see. I got to be able to, it's so funny how quickly it all flies out of my brain. Let me see here. Bengals, Panthers, Broncos. They took Surtain. That's right. They went Surtain. Who did they take with their second round pick? Broncos took Javonte Williams. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, do you guys think? You think we're going to play and beat the Broncos? Right, John. Passed on field. I know, dude. What are they thinking? I don't know what these teams think sometimes. But at least it's not us. It seemed like we had a lot of logic in our thinking this year, isn't it? So Braden says Jets. Rusty says Jets. Let's see. Who else? Broncos. Win versus Broncos. Win 47-13. Yeah, Kev, I don't want Urban Meyer. I don't, man. Just think about this, okay? Urban Meyer brought in a staff, and within a month, they had to fire one of the guys because he turns out he had all kinds of charges. And it's like, you don't see that with Joe Douglas. And I should knock on some wood, but I feel as though Joe Douglas is significantly more thorough than that. Don't you? Don't you get that impression from him? He's slow moving. He's methodical. He's not excitable. He just does his job. He'll get excited after, but he doesn't, doesn't lose it. Doesn't freak out. He doesn't get starstruck. So I know Justin Hardy's another one. We never talk about him, dude, but he's there. Fangio is a below average head coach. Garrett Ham, Jets win. I agree. So right now, you guys have us at 3-0. And then the Titans come to MetLife. Most of this chat will be there, I imagine. Dude, I can hear a loon. Can you guys hear that? Like in Army movies when guys go, boo, boo, you know what I mean? They make that little call. That's what I hear. A loon. It's crazy. I'm in the woods, man, in Maine. I'm right on this gorgeous lake. I'm going to film a video tomorrow for you guys from the lake. I'll show you where I am. It's incredible. So what do you guys think? So we're 3-0, heading in back home, and then we're inviting the Titans to town. What do you guys think? Corey Davis goes off? What do you think, honestly? Frank seemed to think that we're winning earlier. I don't know. Lost 21-20 in a defensive struggle. The loon is the Pats fan. Yeah, that's the guy who bothered me earlier. He's signaling all those other Pats fans are going to attack me. Meyer is Salah is all about the deal. Yeah, that's what I mean, dude. We have a detailed staff, detail oriented. And if you looked at Flight 2021, dude, that's all they talk about. So let's try to get through the schedule. So hurry up. So Frank says win. Cadoza says loss. Sean says loss. Braden says win. 2-2. Yeah, Salah can jump in the game. So can Albrecht. Albrecht was a stud linebacker. Just couldn't stay healthy. So, well, who else? Who else? Any other votes? Who are we beating the Titans in MetLife? 14-10, Frank said. That's pretty good. Mini Wolverines. I like that, Rusty Spooner. Frank says lose. Rusty Spooner says watch out for the Fishers. Mini Wolverine. Yeah, dude. Now I'm freaked out. Thank you. First loss of the season. That's an L. Seems 50-50. Yeah, it is. I think the losers, not losers, but the guys choosing loss are ahead. Cadoza. That's what I think. Not the losers. You know. All right, so let's count that as a loss. So we're 3-1. So then we go out to Atlanta. Oh, that's where we're going to see our UK brethren. We got quite the representation out there in Britain, man, in England, in London. You guys think we're beating the Falcons in London? What do you think? I think it's a win. I don't even think it's going to be close. Kyle Pitts is a stud, though. But they got Arthur Smith. And let me tell you a secret about Arthur Smith. I'm glad he's not our coach. Let me just say that. That's all. I don't think he's bad, this and that, but he's not the guy I wanted. Let him hang out with the Falcons. So W, 45-3. W, I think Wilson goes off. Right? Yep. They have an average defense. Tannehill still 10. I know that's the thing. I don't like Tannehill still. I don't. I was going to tell you. I don't. I know. He's a great turnaround. I hear it. I see it. I still don't think he's good. I just don't. High scoring game, W. All right, so we're all over the W's. Even Cadoza's back on board. He says 35-13 in our UK showing. So now we are 4-1. Dude, you imagine we start 4-1 with the Saleh regime era? So then we got the Patriots again. This time out in Foxborough. We already beat them once. So what do you guys think? Be honest. I don't like Tannehill Cadoza. I don't like him. He has been good. I can't deny that. But I also think he's getting a lot of help. That's what I think. I think he's not that good. I think when they're able to take Derrick Henry out of the game, Tannehill can't do it. That's what I think. So they got to keep Derrick Henry going. That guy's got a lot of mileage on him, man. He's literally my favorite running back in the league. That's my type of runner. But I don't know how long he's going to last, man. Although his workout regimen is no joke. So who knows? Who knows? So you think we see, Jeremy says we're beating the Pats 49-3. Wouldn't that be something? That's a callback, I think, isn't it, Jeremy? Loss. Rusty says win. No worries without Tom Brady. Lost rookie quarterback. Right. Loss on the road. Is he really good if it took him 7 years to be good? I think so. But I just still don't like him. I think any minute we're going to find out that he's not good. As soon as they take Derrick Henry out, as soon as Derrick Henry slows down a half step, like with his animalistic tendencies, you're going to see Tannehill can't carry the team. He's good enough to do what they're doing. And if that's it, that's it. It's good enough. It's what they're doing. It's fine. Well, the Giants beat the 49ers 49-3 in the playoffs in 1986. The Patriots beat the Jets 49-3 in their second showing in 2010, and we went out to beat them in the playoffs. And everybody was using 49-3 as why they were going to kill us. That's what I thought you were calling back to. I think it's 49-3, something like that. All right, so we got our second loss. So we're 4-2. 4-2. We got the Bengals coming to MetLife. That's a W. I know I'm not even going to listen to anybody. So we're 5-2. Don't forget, guys, I can't count. I do this every time and I lose track. So somebody's got to help me. Are we 5-2? 5-2. Right? We're here at the Bengals. So we're 5-2. Then the Colts. Jets at the Colts. What do you guys think? 5-2 heading into the Colts. Right? Jets beat the Bengals 62-17. I hear you. 5-2. Right. Thank you, Garrett. All right. L for the Colts game says E-Rock. Cadoza says a W. Close. All right. What do we got? I'm taking a vote. Braden says L. So we got 2 L's and a W. Jets beat the Colts in a squeaker. Oh, we got 2 more W's. The W's are up. And a squeaker, 31-10. 5-3, Amarillo. Be careful with the Bengals. They usually kept games close. Yeah, I know. I hear you. But we're going to stop them. Carl Lawson's going to ruin their day. That's how I see it. A loss, unfortunately. Well, the W's have it this time. So we are 6-3, 6-2, 6-2, and the Bills come to town. First Bills game. What do you guys think? We're firing on all cylinders. We're 6-2, going into play the 6-2 Bills. The Bills are coming to MetLife, actually. So what do you think? Loss? We're losing to the Bills at MetLife. So this is sorry. Excuse me. Nick says we're not beating the Colts, guys. All right, so that's a loss for Buffalo. So we are now 6-3. 6-3. Yeah, we won. We beat the Colts. Sorry. Yep, that's the vote. So now we got the Dolphins coming. The Dolphins are coming to MetLife. That's 2 home games in a row. Yeah, 2. Thought it was 3. Dolphins. What do you guys think? They're on the upswing, right? Yeah, that's what I think. I think we're going to split with the Bills this year. That's what I think. There you go, Garrett. Bills, Mosley finishes what he started in 2019. That he was ruining their day. So we're beating the Dolphins, right? So what's that, 7-3? This is a good season, guys. You guys are all right. I approve of this. So we're 7-3. Now the Jets go to the Texans and play the Deshaun Watson-less Texans. What do you think? Heading down to Texas. I know. Josh Allen's another one. I mean, look, the team's done a great job supporting him, and he's done well. I get it. I'm with it. But I don't believe in him yet, man. I need more than a year of these guys. You know what I mean? Josh Allen's a choker, man. He chokes. He's so prone to the big mistake. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what our pass rush does to him. Yeah, I think we're beating the Texans. Right, exactly, Cadoza. They're in full tank mode. But it's 7-3, Rusty, isn't it? We lost to the Colts. Did we beat the Colts? Oh, shit. Yeah, 7-2. So this is now 8-2. Okay, thanks, guys. Telling you, I have like a weird mental block with this kind of stuff. I can't do it. I try so hard. Then the Eagles are coming to town. The Eagles with Nick Sirianni as the head coach. Give me a break. What's up, Kenny? Yeah, Texans are going to get the number 1 pick this year. That's funny. So we lost to the Bills at home. That's what everybody said. That's what they said. And then we beat the Dolphins. So now we got the Texans. We're beating them. So what's that, 9-2? And then the Eagles. We're going to beat the Eagles, right? Come on. What is this? First time ever beating the Eagles. They're coming to MetLife. We're going to stomp their faces in. Right, dudes? So that's, what is that, 9-2? I swear I have it's either 9-2 or 9-3. Who's going to stick with me? Who's helping me? Who is it? Cadoza, where are we? Frank. Big W against the Eagles, right? So tell me where we are. Is that 9-2? 9-2. And then we play the Saints the first year without Drew Brees, right? Do they even know who their quarterback is? Oh, is it Jameis Winston? He's dangerous. You know, I don't know. I think we're beating the Saints, dude. Right? I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong here? Whoops. Am I wrong to think we're beating the Saints 9-2? I think it's 9-2 too. Let me just see who we lost. We lost to Buffalo. Wait, we lost to Buffalo? We swept the Patriots, right? Yeah, and the Titans. That's it. This is why this stuff is fun. Right, 10-2. Saints were a good team when Breeze was out. Was just a game manager last year. Kamara is the backbone. Okay, well, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. We beat the Saints. So I'm looking like, so Braden says an L. Braden says an L. And Taysom Hill. Right. 9-2. So it looks like, everybody's saying win. After beating the Saints 10-2. Buffalo and Tennessee. That's right. Wow. Yes, we're beating the Saints. And then look who we have. Dude, as much as Trevor Lawrence is Trevor Lawrence and all that stuff. Oh, no, it's not them yet. Dolphins' second game. This is us going to Miami late in the season when it's cool. They already lost their edge. Their edge is the heat, right? It's going to be cooler. This is December. We're playing them in December. It's the best time of year to go down there. Let's give a loss to the Saints, guys. We can't, right? I know. Hey, it is what it is. So what do you think? You think we're sweeping the Pats and the Dolphins? Is that what you guys think? Nice, E-Rock. There you go, buddy. I used to go to every Jets game in Miami for 10 years. That was the only game I got to every year. 21-17. Right, Nick. F the fish. All right, so we're beating them. So we're 11-2, guys. And we're going into Jacksonville. 11-2. Oh, and the Jaguars are coming to MetLife. We're 11-2, playing the 4 what is it? 4-7 Jags. What do you think's going to happen here? It's 10-2. We didn't lose to the Saints, Rusty. We're getting into record-breaking territory here. We are. We're going to be the best team in Jets history. So tell me where we are after we beat the Jaguars, because we're beating them. Where are we? We beat Trevor and Tebow 42-9. Right. The Meth Kittens. 45-3. That's awesome, man. It's a great stadium. I used to go there all the time. I haven't been there since the roof, though. I heard the roof takes all the sun off the fans, so that's great. It was brutal in there. You used to go to, opening day. It was, terrible, man. I think it was week 1 when we played the Chad Pennington. It was Brett Favre versus Chad Pennington, Dolphins. It was 100,000 degrees. I was miserable. But we won, so I was happy. So we're 12-2. That's where we are, guys. Now we're playing the Bucks. They're going to beat us, right? Fair enough. So 12-3. And then we got the Bills. Do we end the season with 2 straight losses? Or do we beat the Bills second time around as a 12-2 team? 12-3 team. So we're 12-3 because the Pats beat us. The Bucks beat us. Win versus Brady. Are we? Yeah, 12-4. We missed a game somehow. So maybe we'll add a loss. So we're 12-5 at the end of the year. 12-5. You guys okay with this? Yeah, somewhere we missed it, Garrett. I don't know. Somehow. See? When I'm alone, I do this all the time. But now we got you guys. I have 60 guys in here helping me, and we still can't get it. It's me, but trust me. That's the Bean effect. Nobody can count all of a sudden. It's hard with 17 games. So we're 12-5. 12-5. Guys okay with that? With 12-5? Goodness. Isn't that nice? So we got 12-5. And that's that. So that's that. So let's do this for a second. Let me show you for the guys who weren't in here real quick. This is what we decided on, I think. This is the one. But with the different green. What do you guys think? Huh? You with it? We're going to be a 12-5 team, and the year after, we're going to break out this helmet for 8 games a year. What do you think? Oh, you want to see it again? I just deleted it, buddy. Let me see. New York Jets 2/21 schedule. All right, so here it is. Let me see. I'm going to share it with you guys right now. There we go. There we go. Don't you worry. It's coming. Okay. You got it? Whoops. All right. So here's the schedule. So there's the preseason. It starts right here. See me? So we beat the Panthers. We beat the Pats. We beat the Broncos. We lost to the Titans. That's 3-1. We beat the Falcons 4-1. We beat the Pats 5-1. We beat the Bengals 6-1. We lost to the Colts. Oh, no, we beat the Colts. We were 7-1. We lost to the Bills 7-2. We beat the Dolphins 7-3. We beat the Texans 8-3. Or did I skip one already? Did I do that? Did I already skip one? I'm the worst, dude. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. You like that, Nick? Wasn't that good? Yeah, so anyway, I can't do it. I'll show you the schedule, but I cannot count. I just tried to do it quick for you. I can't do it. I lost track already. I'll try one more time, and then just for monotony's sake. We beat the Panthers. We beat the Patriots. We beat the Broncos 3-0. We lose then 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 10-2, 11-2. This is just what we said before. 11-2. I think we said we were losing one to the Dolphins, right? So we're splitting. I think that's what it was. So we were 11-3. Is that where we are? 12-3, 12-4, 12-5. Okay, there you go. You did? All right. There was New England. That's the one we missed. Okay. That's fine. This would be the best thing in the world if Seattle crumbles and can you imagine if they had like even a top 5 pick? Could you imagine? And we get our pick, like we're back in the back end somewhere in the late 20s, and then Seattle gives us a top 5 pick. Could you imagine? So let's end it with this. Do you guys think just because that one was just brought up, that's it? Well, you never know though, man. Wilson's been asked to do a lot up in Seattle, and it's at some point it's gonna falter. I mean, they got Lockett and DK Metcalf still, all right. So they got his group, his skill guys, but you never know. And if he does get hurt, which I'm not rooting for, of course, but you never know. So do you think that the Seattle Seahawks are going to give Jamal Adams what he wants? What do you guys think of that? Wouldn't that be the best? I know it's so weird seeing Pete Carroll as an old man. He was our young guy. He was one of the youngest coaches in the league. I think he might have been the youngest head coach in the league when he was our head coach. I think that might be the case. What's that? You drive me? No, he's driving me crazy. Rusty? No way, buddy. No, it's good. It's good. Jamal will be out of the league in 3 years, so they have to. That's interesting. But if he wants 19 million, I mean, just as a number, let's say 18 million. If he wants $18 million to be the highest paid safety and then some, if he wants $18 million, you think they're going to do it? I don't think they're doing it. It's a crazy situation, and this is exactly what Joe Douglas had the foresight to see. And I love that he just allowed Jamal Adams to drive his own car. He just kept saying, no, we love Jamal. We love Jamal Adams. He's a Jet for life. He's a stud. Jamal Adams is a stud. We want him here, of course. And he just let Jamal go batshit crazy and say all the things that he had to say. Going hanging out with Manish Mehta, talking about Adam Gase, jumping on Woody Johnson, all the stuff he did. Just let the fans turn on him. And then he turned around and got 2 firsts and moved up from the 4th to the 3rd for him, plus a player to hold the 4 for a minute. Yeah, dude. Sneakers to boots, nailed it. If they sign him to that big deal, I mean, look, dude. It's not to say he's not a good football player, right? Like, nobody's saying that. He's a good football player, and he's passionate, and he's good to the fans as far as, like, hanging out and signing. So he's good. But, dude, as far as his effect on a football team, dude, he's a problem. And this whole thing with holding out, I mean, he's going to hold out. But I wonder. I think if he comes down to, like, the 15s, I think they'll sign him. But I can't see them giving him 18. I can't. They're up against the cap anyway. They're always in trouble with that stuff. And he turned half of that pick into AVT. You know what I mean? So don't forget, you can look at it like this. So we traded 2/3 and our 23rd pick to move up to 14 and get pick 140 or whatever it was. I forget, 109. I forget what it was. But it was a late 4th round pick. And that's who we used. I think we used that one on Jason Pinnock, right? I think it was Pinnock. It might have been Jamie and Sherwood. I think that was Jamie and Sherwood. So think about it. With half of the trade, we got AVT, Jamie and Sherwood, and a first next year. It's incredible, man. And especially if they have any type of issue. This year's pick was already higher than it was supposed to be. Remember, 23 was much higher than everybody was thinking. They thought it was going to be 28 and beyond. So Shawnee Dart says Jamal breaks. No, we got the 2nd for Sam. We didn't get a 2nd for Jamal. Eagle Fang. You're thinking of Sam. We got a 2nd. We have this year we have a 2nd and a 4th coming from Sam trade. We got a 6th last year, which we used on Nasruddin. Not bad, dudes. I think that one was Nasruddin. I could have that wrong. We had a couple 6ths. Yep. Gase and Jamal left the team, and we're good. So anyway, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. I'm outside and I'm freezing. Okay, I'm like really cold. I'm in shorts for some weird reason. Probably because when I started it was 80 degrees. But it's freezing out. So I want to thank you guys, man. This was awesome. Another great time with you guys. I thoroughly enjoy my time with you. And I appreciate you stopping by, man. I do. Again, I started the Patreon. If anybody feels inclined to support the channel and what I'm doing, it's always appreciated. The link is in the top of the description of this video on YouTube. And I'll put it in from now on. So I would appreciate it, guys. If not, whatever. But I'm just saying I would. Okay? But thanks again. And I love you guys, man. You guys are the absolute best. And we're going to be 12-5, it seems. 12-5, and I couldn't feel better about that. I'd be very happy and satisfied with that record. So, guys, you have a great night, and I will see you next time. Then just go. You signed your franchise tag. Get the hell in here. That's the way I see it, man. Get in here. I know we're talking about a contract. You can be on the field earning your $10.346 million while we're working on the contract. And that's what you should be doing. Right now, you're the leader in the locker room. And there's a bunch of newbies running around this place. They don't even know where the bathroom is. Who's going to show them where the bathroom is? You gotta have Marcus May in there. You signed it. And here's the real interesting nugget. And this is where it can get wacky. You ready for this one? Greg Knapp was the passing game coordinator for the Denver Broncos when Adam Gase was the offensive coordinator. And afterward. Isn't that something? Another little tidbit was Greg Knapp was also the offensive coordinator when Michael Vick became the first quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards. So Greg Knapp's been around, man. Greg Knapp knows his stuff.